What should I say? What should I say? Okay, round number 100. I hope this is gonna be the best. Our blog, Stereotypes at AUBG, started as culture stereotypes. We thought that we should take advantage of the fact that we have a lot of nationalities and a lot of representatives from different countries here at AUBG. And we thought that talking about stereotypes, about culture stereotypes, might be interesting for students. So we tried to switch a little bit to make our subject a little bit more broad. I remember the first issue I dealt with was the Audacity and Adobe Premiere. It was really hard for me to work with it, even though I was really interested. It took a lot of time to actually adjust to the programs and start working with them. But then I realized that actually with a little bit of work, you can create magic, only because of the editing. And I think that's a really powerful tool. I had problems with my sources because most of them didn't want to be on camera. I don't know why. A lot of people are afraid to recognize the fact that they fall under some stereotypes. And I remember from my first post on the blog, it was like an interview, an article with a friend of mine. He's French, and I was asking him if it's true that French people are nationalists. And he smiled and he said that, oh, we're not nationalists. We just love our country because we are the best. So that in a way shows that people they hide from the truth, but at the same time they recognize it through their emotions. My favorite post on blog is the language stereotypes, but because I actually think that it proves my point that certain things do sound differently in different languages. I think you've seen Antonio saying "te amo," "te quiero," "eres muy hermosa," and it sounds beautiful, actually. And when Mikkel was talking in Dutch, he was a little bit different. Even though he said sweet things, it sounded just a little bit rude. Stereotypes about gamers, we had this video, and I really enjoyed doing it, even though it was really hard to convince the person to give me an interview, because nobody wants to recognize the fact that they actually spend 7 hours in front of their computers playing games and not having a social life. Journalists post, because actually I felt that I have a chance to talk, and I have a chance to actually, I try to persuade people that journalism major in AUBG is not the easiest one. And I interviewed some journalists, and they actually agreed with the fact that it takes a lot of time to be a journalist, to try to be a journalist here in our little world, because you have to have extracurricular activities, a lot of them, except from the fact that you have to write papers and you have to meet the deadlines, and a lot of teachers are really, really demanding. But I really do think that we need a lot of cameras, and we need really good microphones, and because sometimes it stops us from being creative. The fact that the cameras don't work, or we have issues with them, or they're just not enough. Yeah, I really thank you, Melody, for this class, and it was a very productive one, I think, and it taught me a lot, and I think that it gave me this taste for multimedia. I actually I did do some videos before, but I was mostly into writing journalism, but right now, multimedia waits for me.